In the city of Knoxville, the buck stops with one person, and that person is with us this morning on Inside Tennessee, along with John North, my colleague. Mayor Indya Kincannon joins us. Good to have you back with us.
Glad to be with you.
Let's talk first. You were just in D.C. with a bunch of other mayors at the White House for a conference. One of the major things that a mayor does is be the chief cheerleader for their city. What, in your mind, are the defining characteristics that make Knoxville the best place to live, work, and play in the country?
Well, I think the defining characteristic is that we are a city on the move, that we have a really great quality of life because we're big enough to have amazing cultural amenities, but small enough that you can make it here, you can start a business here, and there's just a lot of opportunity that you may not be able to access as readily in a larger place, but is not enough opportunity in a smaller place. So we got on the radar. The President of the United States called out Knoxville and was saying that we're doing a good job with our American Rescue Plan investments, which we're using towards premium pay for first responders and infrastructure. And it was a great experience and great opportunity for Knoxville to get a wider known across the country.
Your top priority coming into office was public safety. That's what it's been, and that's what you said is your top priority. We just saw a new class of recruits welcomed into the Knoxville Police Department. You did this week. What can you say about the diversity in that department and how you're trying to grow the ranks? Right.
Well, 1/5 of this new class of recruits were females, and so that's a growing diversity on that front. And we had some diversity as far as race. We still have some work to do, and our goal is just to have the best police officers we can get, and we need them no matter who they are, but just that they have high integrity, that they're compassionate about public safety and committed to protect and serve the people of the city. And we also hope that they reflect the demographics of our city as well. So we're making progress.
One of your big tasks, obviously, in term number one was picking a new police chief. I'm curious how you think Paul Noel is doing so far.
I think he's off to a fantastic start. He's been here 8 months. During that time, we're the first department in the state of Tennessee to join the ABLE program, which is Active Bystandership for Law Enforcement, which is designed specifically to prevent things like what happened in Memphis. So, colleagues intervene and do the right thing always. He's reorganized, and that's been able to help. Instead of just East and West districts, now there's East, West, and Central. And one of the great things about that is there's a special captain whose whole job is to oversee Central and South Knoxville, including downtown. And I think that level of attention has already made a big difference downtown in terms of some public order crimes that used to be more frequent are now much diminished. So from what I hear from downtown residents and business owners. Most importantly, crime is down. Murders are down 15%, so are car thefts and other violent crimes. We have work to do. He's only been here 8 months, but a lot of progress is being made.
We've heard some grumblings, and I'm not going to misrepresent it and blow it out of proportion, but some grumblings from some officers in the ranks saying the guy is just not fitting well, he is autocratic, et cetera, et cetera. I'm curious. I will also say I have covered police departments for about 30 years. I know how police departments are. They can be mercurial. I'm wondering if you have heard any complaints from people on the force, or if you have a sense from the rank and file about how they think he's doing.
Well, I think that one thing I hear from the rank and file is they're really pleased with the level of communication. They feel, used to be sometimes they would find out what was going on with the police department when they saw it on your TV shows. Now they hear about it firsthand from the chief, and then it comes out in the public, whatever those things may be. So I think he's doing a great job on communications, and I hear that from regular police officers. I do think that the pace of change has been a lot. When you're used to a steady state and then all of a sudden there's more change, that's hard. We also, like so many organizations, have had a lot of retirements, and so we're welcoming in these new recruits, and people are like, I don't know, I used to know every single person in this department, now I don't know all these new people. And so that's, can be unsettling, and people have changed. Sometimes they went from east to west or different roles, but change can be healthy, even though it's hard, and I'm confident that Chief Noel's doing a great job.
Under your watch, we've seen the expansion of body cams worn by officers and also the co-responder program where you partner with behavioral health specialists at Helen Ross McNabb Center and they go along with an officer on calls. Explain to viewers how you think both of those programs are working.
Well, first of all, before I was mayor, we didn't have body cameras at all, so I didn't just expand it. We started it from scratch, and I'm so thankful that we have body cameras. The police officers wanted it, community members wanted it, now we have it, and that assures mutual accountability on any number of levels. So I think that's going well. We've been doing it they've been deployed for, I guess, 2 years now, and the officers are used to it, the public expect it, and it's a really big positive. As far as the co-responder team, we started with one. It was so effective. We expanded it to now 4 teams that are available and running 7 days a week, and they are very busy. They are effective because so many people who are having crises are also maybe armed, so they need the police officers to go in there and make sure it's safe. We don't have a lot of social workers that I've encountered who want to go into a dangerous situation where they don't know if someone's armed, maybe going to hurt themselves or someone else, or someone who's trying to assist them. So this co-responder team has been very successful, and I'm really thankful for the McNabb Center for partnering with us.
Mayor, I wanted to ask you one question about the whole selection process that led to Chief Noel being chosen. I recognize the city is in litigation. It's been my experience that typically entities say we can't talk a whole lot about it because of litigation. But here's what I'm curious about. Some people were curious about sort of the limited lack of transparency in that process to get a new chief, and my question is, would you anticipate that kind of a process would be used for any other big hires for the city of Knoxville?
Well, I hire people all the time, and that's my job as mayor, to do the best I can to find great leaders for our city, and that's what I was elected to do. And so I did a national search for the police chief because that was what we needed at the time. So that national search, I don't expect to be doing that on a routine basis because we have so many talented people right here in Knoxville. So I'm really proud of that process. We got a lot of community input, and as Chief Noel and other candidates said, they would not have even applied had the process not been confidential. So I'm really confident with our process. I know it followed the law, and I'm really pleased with the outcome as well.
We're going to move on from public safety, but we want to ask one question about the public safety building.
Yeah.
It is more expensive than initially thought.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Significantly.
After a pandemic, but is it worth the investment?
Absolutely, because it's not just about that building. It's also about an investment in the North Knoxville community. When Tenova decided to close down that hospital, we could have been left for years, decades or more, with just an empty, blighted property. But instead, the city has gone in. The police and fire departments and other entities needed new space, and we have renovated that. It has been expensive. I'm not denying that, but it's an investment. We also were able to borrow the money at very low interest rates long before this current change. So we're going to be able to make good payments on that, and it's going to be a great asset for the community. And it's part of the St. Mary's campus. We just had a meeting last week with the community members, sharing with them what's already going to happen with LMU School of Nursing, School of Dentistry. There's going to be green space. The police and fire headquarters are going to be there. But there's more land there that can be developed, and that was one of the purposes of this meeting, was to share what is already happening and get the community members' ideas about what should go in those empty spots. So it's just the beginning of a whole revitalization in the North Knoxville community.
We have more to get to with Knoxville Mayor Indya Kincannon. Stay with us. More questions about the economy as well as taxes and South Knoxville coming up.